Alright, good evening everyone. Welcome to Dark Helmet Racing League Season 7 finale. This is round 9. We're at Spa in the dark. Since it is the finale, I'm just going to kind of buzz through these pretty quick just to see if there's anything that really needs to look at, but for the most part, any incident points from tonight don't carry over, so it'll just be a quick review and see what we've got. Alright, so let's get into the sprint here. 32 seconds in, we got something. Good job by everyone to get around that. Action. Well held after the contact. Net code. Let's do the fun thing. Just turn on the racing line here. Where do we see that? Driving line. Alright, so the driving line, you can see illuminated on the track now. And if we walk this forward slowly, you can see already there's good overlap. Almost completely to the wing mirror. You can see the green Aston kind of arcing in a little bit. Porsche wasn't running wide, just kind of net coded there as well. So I'm going to leave this one as racing incident. It is something that looks like a lot more than it is, but Porsche behind gets a good run on the Aston here and just goes to make the move. Needs both to leave room here for it to happen, and netcode decided that it needed more room than what you guys had given each other. So try to be aware of netcode so it doesn't do this to you. But this is just a racing incident. It bounces them right back into the track. Takes other people with them, which is not Ryan's fault there. Powell that got into him. Nowhere to go. whole lot happening here. Let's go back a little bit. Just go look at it from Caesar's point of view. So he's making a move on Jeff Wyatt, sees 3 wide in front, and everyone overslows. Good job of getting that stopped, but good job for everyone of getting through that. That was intense. Is Josh in a Corvette tonight? No. Alright, so there's a 4X to Josh, which is nothing. And then let's go look at Alex here's track out. Alright, so technically we say the white line next to the curb is part of the track edge, but let's just make sure. I think I even said past when the curb is there, the white line's still involved. Let's make sure. Apex to exit. Where's my track edge definition? Down here. Track edge, the white line, absence of white line, the track edge will be defined by the trackside edge curb. Alright, so it's the white line here next to the red and yellow curb. So you can see that Jeff kind of just goes over that, but Alex here can do more here to allow room, because right now, at that point, Jeff's not got a wheel back on track. So Jeff comes across. Jeff could have stayed out because you can run. This is a legacy of like the changing track edge in this corner. I know Jeff's kind of scared of the track edge here and trying to not get a 1X, which runs into this issue of where you come back on. But the rules for this area, track limits are defined by the edge of the curbing or the track white lines if there is no curb. So all 4 wheels have to be over this red and yellow curb for Jeff to get a 1X off track, or even worse, a slowdown. So there's that, plus, car in front that he's trying to not run into the back of. So just a lot going on here. I would say this is more on Jeff for unsafe rejoin than Alex. You run out on that part of the track, it is what it is. I didn't mean to give that no action. Give to Jeff and then apply it to where it needs to go. But Alex here could have done more to avoid the incident as well. So for sportsmanship, try to see if somebody's trying to dealing with track edge here. Try to give them as much room as possible. But at the same time, you're all racing each other, so this will be on Jeff, driver of the 86. Oops. And that would be Improper rejoining because contact was made. Again, these points really don't affect anything tonight because the championship resets and everything for this season. So, nothing to really worry about. That was optimistic as hell. And this might get more than that. This is completely blown your braking zone. You weren't going to get that stopped. I'm going to go a 5 on that because that was big. That was a huge lunge and just went way too deep. It was pretty much reckless. Any of our avoidable contact major is like driver intentionally or recklessly caused contact. So this would be reckless, or the reckless, not the intentional side. Intentional side would have been panicking and trying to avoid that. So that was purely just an accident, but it's going to be a 5 point. And that affected Troy again because he then bounced across the track. He got it into Josh there. Nothing he could do, so he's noted on that one. And Josh, unfortunately, gets a lot of damage from this as well. Nothing he could do there. Will just be noted for the same action. Big moment from Alex. Can he get it all the way around? Oh, almost. Action. That's just an effect of this last corner here. Because of this corner coming into it, you can see the track line comes across here. So I think it's Todd in the Porsche area. He's just coming across, taking the normal line. He's leaving a little bit of space, but he's really just following the natural line. So it's always inviting to try to send it up the outside here, but no, this gap is always going to start closing. Driver's eyes are going to be up towards the corner up there, and yeah, it's not the best kind of send to do there. So racing instant between these two. Make sure Todd got that stopped, which he did. Ryan, only on lap 4. Jeez. But here, Ryan's recovering after his previous accident. He's doing nothing wrong. Car comes across his nose. And I think that takes out a bunch of other cars behind as you see flashlights spinning around and everything. Huge accident because it involved multiple. Let's give this one a 2.5 for avoidable contact. Just could have been a lot worse. Like, it wasn't reckless, it was an accident as well, but it wasn't anything major incident wise. It wasn't a major avoidable contact, it was a minor indiscretion that ended up going a lot worse. Okay. I think that took Christian. Oh, it was Christian to start with. Okay. And And Renner was one of the ones that got caught out there and had a big accident because of it. And Thomas had the biggest hit here. He basically went nose to nose with Greg, I think. With all the cars spinning around. Yeah, that was a huge hit. Would have been shocking in the car, too. So noted on that one. Action. Careful on reversing across the track like that. Nobody's coming, but be careful. James had a spin in the last corner here before the finish. How do you get backwards here? Oh. Alright, so that's our sprint. Alright, let's see what we have in the feature. Let's see if we can get through this pretty quick. There's incidents before the green flag. Great. Alright, so Ryan here not really paying attention too much. Has a vital contact, we'll give this a minor. Damage before the start of the race I usually do a hell of a lot more on, but we're at the end of the season. And just be the contact. Yes, it gives drivers damage, but let's leave it at a minor. Could be a lot worse of a nobody got spun, just damage, that's all. I think that was James as well. They ran into. Noted. And then Greg that got in the back of him. It's gotta be short warm-up laps like this and everything. Like the pace car launches at the field, has to catch up to the pace car, and then that slowdown always causes these kind of ripple effects. Now, did this contact here at apex have any relation to the spin? I don't know. I don't think so. Because they're off each other there, and then he's getting it straight, and then he just goes around there. So, I don't think so. I don't think there was any contact this one. No action. I think it's Josh, that the one that went around. And I don't think that's on anyone there. So off he goes. Ryan. So there's definitely a car. Should be aware there's a car on the inside there. Car doesn't make apex. Alright. That's this one. So let's just watch the apex here. Yes, they're both tight, but if he kept it to the curb. No, he didn't even give him room to the curb. Okay, so that's on Ryan. But I'm just going to go leave it the way it is. No further action. Just going to call out a racing incident between the both of them. Ooh, that's a huge spin. Seems like something's off with the wall hits right now. Bouncing cars big time. Bill. Oof. No action there. He was nothing he could do, I don't think. He was stopped. Yeah, he's fully stopped, so no action, nothing he could do. Patrick got a little piece of this. Huge avoidance. But Vincent had nowhere to go, totally unsighted. Surprise, there's a car. No action. That's that. Renner was the one on the grass, I think. Yeah. And Bradley. Who somehow got a bit of damage from that? I'm not sure. Thomas. Caught it on the cold tires. Good save. Mooney. Porsche doing Porsche things. Are we glad we're getting another new Porsche? So more Porsche can do Porsche things? Action. Action. What's that? Go back a little bit. I wonder if that's just legacy of the contact earlier. Caused that. Action. Surprise, you have never wing. That rejoin looks worse than it is, but there's plenty of room there to get around. He had to alter his line ever so slightly, but when Jeff started that, this is where this car was. So the relative probably looked tight, but I'll leave this one. This one's right on the edge of anything further, but everyone was good on this. Good job on the waiting. Keeps it locked down, finds a gap, gets it turned around. Good job. Renner having another 2x. Yay, and how my race ended. Like a turtle. Alright, so that's it for... Oh, we got one more. Alright, so that's it for Season 7. Thanks all for joining us for this season. Next season starts up in a couple weeks here, probably just in the new year. Next week we do have the 3-hour enduro. Make sure you join in on Tuesday for our raffle draw. The 3-hour enduro, make sure you register. The registration link is in the announcements for the Discord for DHRL if you're interested. If you need to form a team, please do. The teams portion of iRacing will be, like the event will be run as teams within iRacing, so make sure you register your team and form your team within iRacing before the event that you registered. What else? I think that's it. So we'll see you out in a couple weeks for more DHRL, and please join us. Thanks, everyone.